welcome back to the Afro-Humanist. You're absolutely welcome. If you're not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe and click on that notification bell so when a video drops like this one, you'll be the first one to know about it. And so let's get started. So, some of you may or may not know that I was once a Christian. I once identified as a Christian. I was born into Christianity because it was the way of my parents. Mom and dad went to church, and I even have a Christian name, right, to go along with my my Christian identity. And so I'm no longer a Christian. I've walked away from Christianity. I am now an atheist. And for good reasons. The stories of in the Bible started to not make sense. They just were ridiculous, and just, how on earth did I once believe these stories? And so today we'll be talking about one of such stories, and that's the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. So when people talk about the LGBTQ community, and how their God hates the LGBT, and how you're to be punished for being LGBT, the first thing they do is to go to the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, how God destroyed them for the purpose of being LGBTQ. Now, why would a God create you with these body parts, create you with these feelings, create you with these desires, and then God help you use those desires and try to, just explore these desires that you've been given? No, you get punished. And so the story of Sodom and Gomorrah is not what you have been told. There were lies. They lied in that text. Whatever you believed about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm here to change all of that, because it was all a bunch of lies. And I will show you what I mean. So right here is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah as told in the book of Genesis chapter 19. So Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, "please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night, and then go on your way early in the morning." First things first, angels arrived in the city. They walked. Or how did they get there? When I was taught about angels, I was taught that the angels can just appear anywhere. So why didn't these angels appear through the walls, or just magically just appear in Lot's home? Why do they have to walk through the city? Why? Unless, of course, God knew what was to happen, that the men of the city would look onto these angels and would want to do things with them. So if he's an all-knowing God and he knows that the people have all these strong sexual desires, why make your angels walk through the city? Why not have them appear through the walls or something? Well, okay, so no, they answered, "We will spend the night in the square." So these angels wanted to sleep in this. I thought angels don't go to sleep. I thought angels don't. Why would the angels of God choose to go to sleep in the square? It doesn't make sense. Verse 3, "But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, breaking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed," angels going to bed. You prepare your bed for the angels of God. Now, how did Lot identify these people as angels? How? Did they have wings? How do we tell what's an angel and what isn't an angel? Because you can just open up your home to just about anyone in the name of angelic beings. You just open your home to anyone, prepare a bed, cook for them. Okay. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. Guys, all the men, both old. And so you want me to believe that all the men were all having sexual feelings, desires, and were aroused all at the same time? Is this what I ought to believe? All the men saw the angels and wanted to sleep with them all at the same time. Well, I guess it happens. Well, let's continue. They called to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them to us so that we can have sex with them." I will come back to verse 5. Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him. And he said, "No, my friends, do not do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." At this point here, for me, the conversation is over. Lot would rather his daughters be raped by these men than for the angels of God to be touched. Where's the morality here? How is this something that is sensible? How is this something that anyone can overlook? A man is about to offer up his virgin daughters to be raped because the women didn't care. The women were not priority. The men were the priority. And now God's angels were more priority than the women. I'm so saddened by this. When I read this particular scripture once, I cried, just imagining that I was a daughter of Lot, that my daddy, instead of keeping me safe, is willing to give me up to the angels of, in the place of the angels of God. What kind of God is this that could not even step in at this point? Gosh. Well, the men, because of course the men had their erections, all of them, both old and young, said, "Get out of my way," they replied. "This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play the judge. We'll treat you worse than them." They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the home and shut the door. They struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so they could not find the door. So they've already punished them, right? They've already punished them with blindness. So guys, remember, this is just the men. The women and children. Can you imagine being a woman, being a child in this city, and watching your father walk to Lot's home with his erection ready to go sleep with God's angels? Because what were the women and children doing while the men were trying to go sleep with God's angels? So now the angels have struck. They have made these people blind. Okay, it's done, right? Finished, done. You've made them blind. Okay, Let's call it a day. The two men said to Lot, because now extra punishment for everyone now. Everyone now has to pay. So it's not enough to blind the eyes of the... You see, they should have stopped here, because they only blinded the eyes of the people who, quote unquote, were the guilty party. Okay? They were the ones trying to sleep with the angels. By this time, just stop. You've done your punishment. It's done. But no. They say, do you have anyone else here? Sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against his people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, hurry and get them out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city. With the coming of dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, hurry, take your wife and your 2 daughters who are with you, or you'll be swept away when the city is punished. When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and 2 daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. So the Lord was merciful only to Lot and not the others. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, flee for your lives. Don't look back and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains or you'll be swept away. Then the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heavens. So God from his heavens has the ability to destroy. God was on a destroying mission with his burning sulfur, just throwing them out of heaven because the men wanted to sleep with his angels. Then he overthrew other cities and the entire... So he overthrew other cities who weren't involved in this, and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. So who looked back to determine that she was a pillar of salt? Who was the one that realized that she had become a pillar of salt? Well, that's a conversation for another day. But where I'm going, where the lie is verse 15. Let me change your whatever perception you had about the Lot story, whatever perception you had, I will change it now. So in verse 5, we are told that the men wanted to sleep with God's angels. In verse 5, they called to Lot, where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them. The last time I checked, homosexuality was sleeping with someone of the same sex. So man and man, woman and woman, right? Right? These were angels. These were angels. So my question to you is, what do you call sex between an angel and humans? What do you call that? That's not part of the LGBTQ. The last time I checked, you could either be lesbian. A lesbian is someone, a woman who sleeps with another woman. A gay man is a man who sleeps with a man. The LGBTQ, those acronyms, nowhere do you find sex between males and angels. Sodom and Gomorrah story has nothing to do with homosexuality. Nothing at all. I know some of you would say, oh, but the angels were males. They were not males. They were angels. They were supernatural beings, spiritual beings. So, until you work out what the sex between spiritual beings and humans is called, then unfortunately, let me break the news to you. Sodom and Gomorrah has nothing to do with the LGBTQ. Whatever stories you were told, they lied to you. And that book is full of lies. The Bible, full of so many lies. And I will be doing many more videos like this, just deconstructing the lies and falsehood of the Bible. Now, if you've liked this content, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe please, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you.